Hey you guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we are going to be discussing the Cake Launchpad. What are the investment opportunities for this Launchpad, how to participate in the launches, and how to earn money using the Cake Launchpad. I'm going to be taking a thorough look at this project so you don't have to, and much more information given to you. I'm going to walk you guys through this whole process step by step, so stay tuned if you are interested in investing in early crypto projects. Alright you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Before we continue, please make sure to like and subscribe. Turn on the notifications. I review Launchpads every single day, so you gonna want to stay tuned for all of it. Awesome you guys. So also note down, I'm no financial advisor, so do your own due diligence as always, and let's get into this. So the Cake Launchpad is working on becoming a multi-chain launchpad, but for the time being, they are a Cardano-only launchpad, which is absolutely fine by me. Cardano has huge potential, and I am always looking out for Cardano projects to invest in. Now, on the homepage, we can zoom down and we can find a bunch of information. We're going to go to the tiered system first before anything else, as this will give you guys a good indication how expensive the launchpad is and how to participate. After that, we're going to move into the projects to see if it's actually worth it and where the investment opportunities really lie. So bear with me. Over here, we see the APR on the lockup. This is basically the returns that you will get for locking up your tokens for what amount of time. It's very important because you're gonna have to lock up your tokens to gain access to the projects on this launchpad, and to simultaneously also get additional rewards and tokens is a very good benefit. Knowing how much you will get exactly is important. So for a 0-month lockup, you will still get 14% APR. 18% APR will be given for a 3-month lockup, and 24% will be given after a 6-month lockup. Over here, we see the tiered system. It's a little bit different than most launchpads, as most launchpads will give you something along the lines of stake this and you will get X amount of allocation. In the Cake Launchpad, it works a little bit different. Everyone who has more than 4,000 Cake will automatically get a allocation given to them. So that means that if you have more than 4,000, your allocation will exponentially grow. So simply put, the longer you stake and the more tokens you have, the bigger your allocation will get. Oh, my bad, you guys. I kicked the microphone a little bit there. The bigger your allocation will get, right? So that is important to note down. Now, what are the tiers for if it's not deciding your actual allocation? Good question. So 0 to 50,000 Cake will give you more benefits on your endorsements. Now, what endorsements are, it's something quite unique to the Cake Launchpad. We'll get to that in a little bit, but the higher the tier, the more rewards you will get from endorsing the projects that you like. So it will not give you a certain amount of allocation. That is purely and totally dependent on how long you lock your tokens and what amount of tokens you have. What it will do is give you additional benefits. Up to 400,000 Cake will be required for the largest tier, which is V Striker. This will give you 2.5% increasement on your endorsements. Now, what endorsements exactly are? In short, you will be able to endorse the projects that you really like, and in return, depending on what tier you have, you will get X% from the project raised funds. So that is a very cool mechanism, something you should read up on if you are interested. Looking to launch an accelerator project, here you can contact them, and there isn't much more to the homepage really, so we're not going to waste any time. We are going to move over to the projects to see what the Launchpad has launched so far and what the current investment opportunities are. So we don't have to log in, but you can log in. You can click on Launchpad or Seed, depending on what you would like to invest in. If you want to invest in seed, it means you will be participating in the seed rounds, which means usually no unlock at TGE and a longer vesting with usually a lockup period as well, but the price will be at its lowest. Over here on the Launchpad, most of these are public, seed, and I believe they also do have some private rounds, but it seems to be mostly seed or public. So public usually has much more of an unlock at the TGE, but of course a much higher price. So we see here that they don't have any current ongoing projects, as all of these have the mark that says ended. So no current projects is obviously a bad thing. The utility of a Launchpad token is, of course, to be able to participate in projects. Without projects, you can see the price going down quite a lot. And it makes sense. No utility equals lower price. So they will need to have a project soon. When will they have a new project? We'll find out when we look at their social media channels, so stay tuned for that, or use the timestamps below. Over here, we see a bunch of projects, so let's look at some of them at least. First and foremost, they did not, apparently, launch their own IDO on the Launchpad, or at least it's not in the list, so that is something I noticed. One of the seed round IDOs that they had was MetaShooter. You can find it over, let's see, over here, this one. You can click on View Project and you can find all of the information about the project, even if it already ended. You can see that it was a seed investment, and here you can see the goal. You can see that the investors who came from the Kick Launchpad were able to invest with $0.085 US per token. And then here we see the vesting information. This means over here that it was a 20% at TGE. And after that, linear vesting without the lockup of 10% each and every single month. Now, what did that exactly look like? As you can see over here, if we zoom in at the TGE, 20% at TGE, meaning they got the tokens at 24 cents, which is actually quite a lot. As especially, wow, look at that. They bought the token for less than a cent. And at TGE, the token price was 24 cents. So that was a very, very large return. Then again, they only had 20% of their tokens at the TGE. The rest of the tokens they did not yet have unlocked. So they had to wait until they could sell the other tokens that they had, such as these 10%. This was at 527, the second vesting time. And we can see here 527, already the token was down by quite a lot. It was at 0.06. However, this meant that they did make a loss already from their second vesting. From there on, the price didn't really go up anymore, and all the way over through here, every single vesting period was a loss. However, it's worth mentioning that they had 20% at TGE with such big returns that they probably made profit just with this 20%. So an overall decent project. Obviously, there is a chance that people held on to their tokens, as you can see over the past month, the project has been gaining traction again. So who knows, maybe the token will basically become worth it again. Right now, it's going for 5 cents, meaning it is still at a loss from its TGE. But like I said, if it keeps going like this might become a profitable project after all for everyone that held onto their tokens. As you can see, every single day we are seeing this token. There were a bunch of other projects that they launched as well. Let's take a quick look at them. We are seeing here ADA DAO, which was one of the projects that was launched as well by the Kick Launchpad. So if we move over here, we see ADA DAO. This was a vesting period of 245 days. It was also a seed round, I believe. I'm not sure actually. They sold 92% of the tokens that were for sale. It seems to be a bit of a trend here on the Kick Launchpad to not being able to fill up the progress bars. They only ever did it with GATA, and for the rest, all of the process was halfway or sometimes only 5% full, meaning that they don't have a lot of investors, or the investors did not like the project that Kick provided to them. If we look over here, we see that they bought the token for 3 cents, and they had 10% at TGE with no lockup and a 10% vesting per month. Am I saying that correct? Not quite. Look at this. They had another vesting a couple of days after TGE, and after that, it was a monthly vesting. So 3 cents at TGE. If we zoom in a little bit, we see that at TGE, the price was as high as 9 cents, making it a 3x at TGE. After that, it did continue to stay relatively high, but then followed by quite a big drop off. All throughout here, vesting was still continuing as the price was down to 2 cents, meaning all of this, all the way from here, was already a loss for all of its investors. So what we can say with quite some confidence is that also this project, although it did provide some profit at the TGE, was overall not a very good project, and a lot of people did not make profit participating in ADA DAO. It seems to be a bit of a trend with the Kick Launchpad that the launches don't have very good returns, and that the investors aren't participating a lot. Here we see only 61% of the project pool, 3.8, 34%. Here only 5.8% of the pool was filled. So there definitely seems to be a trend among the investors of the Kick Launchpad to not being able or not wanting to participate in the launches. Another thing, of course, is that there are no current launches live, meaning that even if you wanted to and even if you staked your tokens, you will not be able to participate in any launches as there aren't any, which of course for a launchpad is very, very questionable and not a good look whatsoever. So with that out of the way, let's move over to staking, as staking will be the second utility of the Kick token. So in short, what is staking and what does staking mean on the Kick Launchpad? Kick Launchpad allows you to participate in lockups, where you will be able to put a set amount of tokens locked up where you will not be able to withdraw them. For that, however, you will get certain prizes and rewards. Here is the downside though. When you have a launchpad that is not currently launching any projects, the price of the token is going down as it is lacking utility. So even if you are getting rewards for staking your tokens, the price of the token will continuously drop over time. This will cause you to, even though you make profits staking, they will mostly be burned right away because the value of the token is dropping. Now, again, it's different if you believe in the launchpad and you think that it's going to pump later down the line. If that is what you think, then staking, of course, is a good opportunity to harvest more tokens and to sell those tokens or use them later down the line when you have, when the prices are higher. Yet again, this is not financial advice, and I don't know what the price will do. We'll have to investigate further in order to know that. So here you have a couple of staking pools that you will be able to join. If you click on participate, you will see here your minimum contribution and your maximum contribution, how long it's active, and the interest percentage, which is 14% on this one. You see here that the lockup period ends in, well, that's a good bunch. And the next payout is in 2 days. Here you will be able to stake an amount, and here you'll also be able to withdraw it. So that's all pretty straightforward. I'm not going to go too far into it. I assume that most of you already understand how the staking mechanism works, so that should be good to go. All right, you guys, so with that out of the way, we can now move forward to the rest of the website. We can see here that they have a news part. Now, before you click off and you're like, okay, that doesn't really matter to me, it is important to keep in touch with any launchpad, as you will need to do that in order to see if there are any new launches coming up. So if you're watching this video, it's not going to be good enough. It's going to be good, but it's not going to be good enough. You'll need to stay actively up to date. So luckily they do have a Medium and they have it built into their website as well. So it's very easy for its users to stay up to date with everything that's going on. Here you can stay up to date with their newest sales, their newest IDOs, and their newest launches. It looks a bit quirky, but at least it's there, and you will also be able to submit a project through here, but that is not so interesting for most of you watching. They also do have an about page, and we're going to quickly go over that. It's important to see if there are any additional functions that we don't want to miss. They say here Cardano IDO Launchpad, so yeah, we know that. Project endorsement, abilities to support your favorite projects and gain rewards. And then we have a private and public sale options, facilitate various types of fundraising phases. Okay. Then here we have the native Cardano token support. There are also a project incubator, which will basically help projects to kick off their projects within the DeFi space, and automated distribution. Parties can access both the funds and the assets instantaneously. Then we are going to move over to their roadmap, as it is a very crucial part of any project to see what the development team has planned for the near future, and of course what they have done in the past couple of months. We see here 2022 Q2, they have done the endorsement tier system, the UX UI updates, and the Kick CEX listing. Then in Q3, they have worked on the cross-chain support. Like I said in the intro, they are working on it. We see here the ERC20, BSC, and Polygon. It's not live yet. For now, there's no cross-chain, but they are working towards it. They've done some UX UI updates and swap integration. Here in Q4, we are seeing the vote system implemented, platform decentralization, and a wallet support. Then over here, we can easily move on to their tokenomics, as we can see a robust distribution of tokens lockup vesting periods. All right, so let's break this down, as it is, again, one of the most important parts of any Launchpad to understand the tokenomics. There's a lot of value that we can grab out of this, so we're going to get to that right away. For starters, they are taking 14% of the total supply for the team. That's around average, so that is completely fine. 9% is going to marketing, and of course a Launchpad being nothing more but a walking crowdfunding platform, 9% for marketing is once again very average and normal for any Launchpad. 10% for operations is quite vague. We don't exactly know what they mean by this, as it is not specified. It is fine for now, as obviously I assume that they mean just maintenance of the ecosystem and improvements such as updates. 5% is going to the advisors, and 15% will be awarded to the seed stage. We have 17% for the private sale, 7% for the public sale, and 4% for the second public sale. Now, why are there two public sales? Well, that is because they are two different prices for two different public sales, and they have to put that on the tokenomics that there were two different prices. They could have also grabbed the average and just put it as one, but they are being detailed in this case and putting their both rounds in. 9% for staking rewards, and then 10% is locked up for liquidity. Okay, that is good to see. And then here we have the rest of the tokenomics with the market cap TGE is this 10 million something, and the hard cap is 22 million. The total supply is 350,000 tokens, and the seed stage, as you can see, will get only a small amount. The public sale too also. Most of it is going to be raised in the private sale and in the second public sale. So that is fine. We're just seeing 3 stages. So seed, private, and public, which is also an interesting choice. And that is all for the tokenomics already. They haven't put on their vesting schedule. We are going to see that in the white paper. So that is probably where we are going to head next. All right. So if we move over to their white paper, we can see again their tokenomics, but more importantly, we should be able to see vesting, or at least you might think that. There we go. This is a vesting schedule. So let's zoom in a little bit. We can see that the team is, of course, taking 14%. What is worth mentioning, however, is that they do have a 6-month lockup. That's right, which means that they are going to be waiting 6 months before they will start their vesting period, which is also quite long, 10 months. So that is always good to see. They're taking a mediocre amount of the tokens, and they have a 6-month lockup. They're not taking any TGE, and they have a 10-month vesting. That shows that it's not a rock pool, as they are likely doing this because they do actually work on the project, and they're not going to dump their tokens right away because they can't. Then the marketing is just about the same, also with a 2-month lockup. We're seeing here the private rounds don't have a lockup, but they also don't have a vesting. So I guess 100% TGE, I'm not sure. They didn't really specify. Public sale and public sale 2 both have 100% at TGE, meaning that all of the tokens will be immediately released to the investors. But of course, that is done because they have such an expensive price. Let's see if they made any profits on this. So they bought the tokens for 22 cents. They were able to sell their tokens right away, which I hope for them that they did. The token didn't really reach above. The absolute peak was 22.53. And they bought it for 22, so not really any profits made here. The second public sale was even worse. They bought it for 26, and it never went above 26. So that is just at a loss. So Again, it might change in the future, but for now they did make losses over there. Obviously, the seed stage did have 10% of TGE, so that was huge profits. Then a 9-month vesting, obviously as the token price declined over time, the profits eventually became little to nothing. Okay, so that is all for the vesting, really. We see here again all of the hard caps. We already went over that. So let's scroll up a bit as we can then look at the white paper in a whole, everything that it has to offer and all the value we can get out of it. We zoom out a little bit again. It says here, Kick.io is a Cardano-based fundraising platform and a project accelerator designed to leverage DeFi innovations to provide transparent, efficient, and fully decentralized crowdfunding services. Unlike our competitors, we offer full support of Cardano native tokens and a suite of advanced DeFi tools that upcoming projects need to thrive and prosper. So again, they don't have anything particularly that makes them stand out from their competitors. Of course, their tier system is different and they are planning on becoming cross-chain. To be honest though, there isn't that much competition within the Cardano Launchpad niche, as it just isn't a very popular chain for launchpads to build on. Of course, their biggest competitor has to be Cardstarter, but I have made a complete review on them. So if you are interested in comparing the two, you can do that here on the Digits Club. For the rest though, they are fully specialized in IDOs, so you're not going to be finding many IDOs over here. And yeah, that is about it. Then again, we have here the roadmap, and we already went over it. I think this roadmap is a bit more complete as it has Q3 of 2021 as well, but none of it very important. Okay, so that is the white paper, very short. We again don't see a team. We couldn't find the team on the website. We couldn't find it on the white paper either. They don't have anything on their social media regarding their team. So the only thing we can still try and do is go to the LinkedIn to spot if they might have a LinkedIn page. Let's go over to Kick Launchpad or kick.io. I'm not finding it as now. They do have a LinkedIn page. Look at that. So we can check their employees. There we go. Okay, so they do appear to be doxed, I suppose. Let's see here. This is an advisor, front-end business analyst. This is the CTO. He appears to not be doxed. That's the CTO. I'm curious to see where the co-founder or CEO is. Not finding them, but we can look at some of the people working at the project, such as Kamil Kowalewski. It's a difficult one to pronounce for me. She appears to be a UX designer working in the crypto industry, and she is the director of UX for Kick.io. She's still working there since 2021, she is. And there's a bunch of other people here, such as business analysis, Vintes Skriknas. Again, difficult to pronounce. They're from Lithuania, so that is Eastern Europe. So also he has been working for more than a year with Kick.io as project manager and then also business analyst. So, okay, at least we're seeing some doxed members, but then again, we didn't see anything on the white paper and we didn't see it on the website either. So that is a bit unfortunate. Moving forward to their social media, we can see that they have around 8,000 followers, making them officially the smallest launchpad I have ever covered on my reviews. With very small following, let's see if maybe their engagement is high. We're seeing here 12 likes and a bunch of retweets, 21 likes and a bunch of retweets, here 16. So it's funny to see, but they have roughly the same interaction as most other launchpads I've ever covered, but they have much less followers. So here they mostly post updates, such as here, Kick.io monthly recap. In this month recap, you will find the update on the IDOs, seed sales, the new 5-tier endorsement system, UX UI updates, our summer goals, and much more. So it's very good to see that they are updating their community like this. They have a link. I believe it's to the Medium. Yeah, that's right. So here they post a monthly update where you can read up on the progress. Also here, they're getting barely any upvotes or comments or anything like that. So very low interaction, and it reflects when you look at the actual projects here in the Launchpad. You can tell that they just don't have that many people interested and participating in the launches. Nevertheless, though, that doesn't necessarily make it bad. It just means that they're still very small, up and coming, and that they have a lot of growing to do. And yeah, over here we see them indeed talk about some IDOs, Betelborgs. So yeah, people seem to be quite enthusiastic about that. All right, moving on to the last segment of the video. It's a bit of a short video today, mostly because there is not a lot of information about the gig Launchpad as of right now. Let's see where we're right now. Okay, this is eMarket. Here you can actually go ahead and buy your token. That's not really what I wanted to do. Here we go to Cardano scan. That's more like it. And we can take a quick look at the top holders of this token. You can see here 62% in this wallet with a 220 million balance. We see here quite some more holders over here, and these are all of the top holders, and this is their percentage compared to the rest. This is the entire list, so you can see that there are quite a bit of holders holding a relatively significant amount. So you can pause it if you want to look at all of the holders. It's open source, so everyone will be able to access this information. Alright you guys, so that was already the end of this video. A very short video. I love making longer videos, but there just wasn't a lot of information around this project. So this is what we're gonna have to deal with for just now. Anyways, you guys did get all of the information that was required. You now have everything you need to get started if you want to, and you should have a clear idea if the Cake Launchpad is something you would be interested in or not at all. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. I hope you have a wonderful day. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, turn on notifications, and then I wish you guys a lot of luck with your investment journey, and I will hope to see you guys in the next one. Ciao, ciao, everybody.